Dave Chappelle returns to Minnesota February 16th with very special guest Clips. Don't miss out on this one-off, one-of-a-kind set at Grand Casino Arena. Tickets are on sale now. Get all the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 passed, and comedies tend to be Mark Rosen here as well. Trade deadline expired 45 seconds ago. 46, 47, 48. Giannis Antetokounmpo or James Harden will not be coming to Minnesota, but they were busy. They made a trade. They got the kid from the Bulls.
Right.
Can you say his name?
Ayo Dosunmu. I believe it was the way he pronounced it.
What do you know about him?
Well, I saw him play briefly when he was at Illinois. I haven't watched him once with the Bulls. I mean, I think what he does on paper, he's having a career year for the Bulls. He's averaging 15 points. He's 26, 15 points a game, shooting 45% from 3-point range, which is encouraging. I think he's going to fill a big need that they have not filled this season with the departure of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, Noah was such a good two-way player and gave this team a lot off the bench. And given the fact that the Wolves were looking for help at guard, and I think this fits the bill on paper. They also picked up another player, kind of a throw-in, Julian Phillips. I know nothing about him.
Oh,
I know nothing about him. But they said goodbye to a couple guys that just haven't been able to crack the lineup at all. In particular, Rob Dillingham, who's only 21, 22. He went to the Bulls now, and they got a whole bunch of new guards, and Leonard Miller, who showed flashes here and there.
Lenny.
But I think overall, the Giannis isn't going anywhere. So as it turned out, much ado about nothing. All the steam about going to the Golden State Warriors, Miami, Minnesota, some other team. The Bucks said we're just hanging on to him. It'll be revisited, I'm sure, this summer again, where all those teams will have a chance to jump in and see what they can do with them. But in the meantime, the Wolves have to keep moving forward, and I think this is probably
you like this club now, don't you?
Well, I like it more than I did yesterday. Even I think this is the type of player that will help them. He's not going to necessarily put him over the top. I mean, he's a contributor. He's the type of guy that fits in well with what the Wolves are doing.
Like this kid, I think.
I like what he represents.
Right.
I mean, I think, like I said, when you look at, I don't think a lot of people are going, well, this is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Then you realize what they were missing without him. And yeah, granted, last night they finally came back. I was watching that game. They were down by 18, and they hadn't won in Toronto since 2004. Granted, they only play there once a year, I think. But
you weren't watching Deuce do his Game Time MN?
I didn't know he was. I was flipping back and forth between.
I want to show him some. We watched you on Channel 4 all those years.
You didn't tell me he was doing the game. I was watching, flipping around it was a big night with Gopher basketball, hanging on for dear life at the end. The Wild with a thrilling game against Nashville before the break, Olympic break, and that was just wide open the whole game. And then I was watching, I'd almost turned the Wolves off, and they came back, and Anthony Edwards kind of willed them to the victory in the fourth quarter. So they got a big win, and they got the guard now that I think will help them. I'm anxious to see, they still have Terrence Shannon, who hasn't played for weeks and weeks with that foot injury, and I don't know, pretty problematic. And, and he was not getting a lot of playing time anyway, but he's got a lot of splash to his game. So, yeah, under the circumstances, I know Conley's gone. I don't think he's coming back the way it sounds, unless they can make some sort of a waiver deal at this point. So, yeah, under the circumstances, it's probably the best. I mean, I think it's the best position that they needed help at. Bones Highland did well last night, but he's pretty inconsistent. And they need somebody who can kind of shoot the three in particular, play some good defense, and add to a roster that I'm glad now is going to be intact. I mean, in retrospect, whatever challenges they have and whatever they can do, I think it certainly is a big sigh of relief for not just the Jade McDaniels, just playing his best basketball of his career right now, but for Naz and for the rest of the team, DiVincenzo, everybody else, they're set now. This is their team going forward and getting.
And you like parades?
Well, I love parades, but I also like the idea this is going to be another very, very competitive Western Conference playoff situation with the teams that are out there. I watched a little bit last night of OKC playing San Antonio, and SGA's out till after the All-Star break. They were hanging in there. San Antonio won. It got closer than I thought it would, but Holmgren's also out with an injury. So, they're missing two of their best players. Obviously, SGA is the MVP, but, they were still pretty competitive. But, yeah, the Wolves now come home kind of a breather in their schedule right now. I think they got the Pelicans here, and they got a bunch of home games. So I think it's just more than anything. Anytime you have a trading deadline, and the Wolves.
What I said was is exciting, and the anticipation of the possibility of having a Antetokounmpo or James Harden. Oh, it sounds great, but then at what cost? Because more than likely they would have had to have parted with Jade McDaniels,
Randall,
Julius Randle, and probably Naz Reid, or maybe slide in a different player and pull out Naz and say DiVincenzo or something. So that's all great, but then how do you replace those guys' contributions? And it could work. I mean, having two big time star players have won a lot of NBA titles, but and then if it doesn't work, then what do you do? What's next? And now it's like, okay, you're basically the same team as you had last year without Na, and maybe there's another player, obviously without Conley now, but he was kind of a non-factor at this point in his career. So now you're bringing back a team that, for the most part, went to the Western Conference Finals 2 years. Now, again, without Big Meow, because he wasn't there last year. But my point being is that this is probably, I feel, I wouldn't want to give up those three. I wouldn't want to give up that much.
No, the closer we got to the deadline, I agree with you, the more I felt that way. And plus, I just didn't feel like it was really going to happen. And Giannis is still out till, I don't know, I guess March at least. And the Bucks are going to have a big decision with him this summer. And they said all this stuff will be revisited. But as it turned out, it was kind of, much ado about nothing. The Harden deal was, relatively big, but he's not. He's getting closer to the end than he is at the
his biggest problem is he doesn't play defense like half the players in the league, and he's a volume shooter, and he's a black horse. Somebody could nominate me for PST if they want. If I were to say, I just don't think Harden's a good fit on this team, because I just don't think he is.
Well, and I also think when you start getting in the deep in the weeds, when you start talking about the Western Conference playoffs, you got to have depth. Injuries happen. I said Oklahoma City's been hit hard by them lately. Every team goes through it, and the more quality depth you have, the better chance you have of making it through those times when you might be missing a key player for a game or two. And when you go you're playing these 4 out of 7 series, and you're playing, against the Houstons and Phoenix and maybe the Lakers and obviously San Antonio and Denver, you got to have quality depth. And I think this is what the Wolves achieved, what Tim Connolly achieved, because what they lost with Dillingham and Miller are really two players who weren't playing at all. So now you're going to get a guy, a two-way guard in Deuce and Mu who can give them that. I mean, again, is he going to be an all-star? No, you don't have to be.
I think maybe he could be.
Well,
he was rising to the occasion, Mark. He's starting to play his best basketball of his career.
And I like the fact he's a little bit older. He's right in the middle of his career.
Yeah.
Really.
He could be the final piece to that puzzle. We've been waiting here since 89 when we first got a team.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe this is the final piece.
Well, it could be, but it's.
I think it's the final piece. I think we're going to win the NBA championship.
Well, and last night,
I'm about to say something controversial.
All right,
that's interesting.
I think that Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the NBA championship.
Okay, you're so full of it.
Well, you don't think they can?
I think they can, but it's coming from you. I mean, it's just
that's what I think now. I think this was the trade.
This is the one. Wow. Okay, I'm going to write this down. On what day is this today? Okay,
February 5th.
February 5th. Comment says Wolves win.
Yeah.
NBA title.
Yeah.
God, I hope you're right. I like parades. Anyway, so that's, Ant had his moments last night. He threw up an air ball. It's pretty funny, and the crowd's jeering.
Well, he had his moments in the fourth quarter. That's when he took over
the game. Did he ever? But I'm saying before that happened, he threw up an air ball, and he's kind of laughing with the crowd. He's giving him the old, and then he steals the ball and goes in for a dunk. Then he gets a 3-pointer. I mean, he's playing at such a high level right now. He's got to make more free throws. I don't know what it is.
Well, what he's got to do is he has to play defense for all 4 quarters.
Well,
that's what he needs to do.
Yeah, and I think when push comes to shove, hopefully he will. But so that's the story. Not a lot of other action today. Big ballyhooed.
He said it himself. This is what he said after the Oklahoma City game. He goes, I think it starts with me on the defensive end. Like, if I'm guarding at a high level, I think everybody's going to do it. So I just got to make my mind up and choose to do it, which is, like I said, it's always tough. It's tough for him to make up his mind. Should I play defense all the time or not? No. But I got to figure out a way to do it. And so that's the thing. And Bones, after last night's game, said basically the same thing. He says, like I said before, man, it's one of those where if we want to do it, we're really good, bro. Like, we're really, really good when we play this type of way. Just got to be a whole team mindset and not just 2-3 guys mindset. We all got to bring it every night. We can't leave each other just out there, and that's been the biggest problem with the team. And it's probably a lot of other teams in the league are the same way. It's like you just sometimes don't feel like playing because you know what? Who's going to force you to play? You got your guaranteed contract.
Right.
You know your team's going to make postseason play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like last night, Oklahoma City. Why did SGA and Holmgren sit out? Are they
hurt?
But not.
Oh no, SGA's got an abdominal strain. He's out till after the All-Star break.
Okay,
he doesn't miss games.
Okay,
he does not. I mean, he plays a lot, all the time. Okay. So he's got a legitimate injury. And I think Holmgren.
Sure.
Well, I don't know 100%, but I think he wouldn't be missing
had a foot injury, but he was playing a game, then taking a game off.
Well, he had an
game,
infected toe. I mean, okay. I don't know, but it's a little different than having abdominal strain. That could set you back for a while.
It can.
So I don't think he's purposely missing 6-7 games, whatever it might be, maybe more. They'll be fine. But that's what I'm saying. You got to have that quality depth. And
load management. It's a way to do load management.
I know, but SGA doesn't have that personality much the way he doesn't like missing games. And Holmgren's had, unfortunately, he's had there's a lot of big guys do. That's what concern I have with Wemby and even like Giannis is out with those calf injuries linger forever. Karl Anthony Towns had how many games did he miss? So that's it's the rigors of the schedule and what you have to kind of play through. So having quality depth is paramount if you're going to make a run in April and May.
Rosen said he didn't tune in to watch Deuce call high school playoff hockey because Common didn't ask him to. It isn't courtside seats for the Wolves, Rosie. You don't have to be invited to it.
I didn't know he was doing
the game. It's free and easy to find. It's literally available to everyone.
Why did you tell me what's going on yesterday?
I hope Deuce stays safe as he drives to Lincoln through a torrent of tears.
I think Deuce has got a very promising future. I'm sure he does. I think, play by play, but I would stick to business, but that's a tough thing to crack.
Maybe even listen to him play and stick to business.
I'm just saying, my point is, it's nice to have a fallback. He may be the next, maybe he might be the next Kevin Harlan. I don't know. I'm glad he's enjoying it, but I'm glad he's using his education for something. Oh, he could be terrific. I'm glad he's doing it. I've encouraged him over and over and over again.
It sounds like you just discouraged him.
No, not at all. I'm just saying that if he was saying, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, I'm going to be, that's all. He's doing this smart thing that a young man who has a wonderful mother is encouraged him to do. That's don't spread yourself to the point where you're doing the right thing.
How do you know she told him that?
Because I know your wife. It won't be coming from you.
You've met her once.
Twice. I can tell by your personality.
Yeah, you have to invite him more.
Yeah.
Are you going to be at the party tonight?
I will be. Are you?
Yeah. I'll be there.
What do you think the odds are he'll show?
I'm going to be there 100%.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I'll see you there tonight.
All right, good.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with more here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
The Fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with their national cash contest. Enter the keyword check at KFAN.com now for your shot to win. The keyword is check. Enter now at KFAN.com. Could use your help on this one, Common. KFAN welcomes some great shows to Mystic Lake Amphitheater. Leonard Skinnerd.
Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
And Foreigner.
You don't know, girl, what we can find. Why don't you come with me, little girl? I'm a magic carpet ride.
We'll be there August 16th. And Motley Crue.
What should I do for Motley Crue? In the club, cherry bomb. Our hearts were really thumping. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll be there August 21st. Get the complete details on all our upcoming shows on the concert page at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
It's a couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He's 10 to be. Legendary Mark Rosen is here. This one says, Rosen's discounting Deuce's education. Then he says, sure, Common wouldn't give Deuce good advice.
Well, I think he's got the motherly
comment. The fraud father not wanting to listen to Deuce's play-by-play,
I
then
didn't
saying
know
he should
about it.
stick to business is
No,
really cold.
I did not.
Did Dave Moore, Don Shelby ever say that to you? Stick to
I
running
did
prescription
say,
drug?
No, you misunderstood.
Continue being a drug runner?
I was a drug runner.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
did they say that to you? Stick
A
to
couple
running
people
drugs?
suggested that. No, I'm just saying that I'm glad Deuce has got options in his life, and it's wonderful that he's. And I did. First of all, obviously, didn't know he was doing play-by-play last night. I was here all day with you yesterday. He didn't say a word to me, and that's great. I love his enthusiasm, and he's taking it and run with it. But he's doing it the right way. He's always got this wonderful education to fall back on, because this just in play-by-play guys early on. You're not going to pay the rent. I mean, and it's good that he's doing that. And if it turns out that he's the next Kevin Harlan, damn.
He's getting paid pretty good money per game.
Is he?
Pretty good at game time.
Well, that's good.
Common, you say you are the T-Wolves guy and can't comment on the Wild because that's tennis job. Question, and be honest. How many Wolves games have you actually watched this year to be the so-called expert? I've not watched a game.
You admit that.
Not watched a game.
Yeah.
None. Boxed up. You got me. I'm boxed. You haven't really boxed me up. I boxed myself up. I haven't watched a game, and I'm not planning to watch a game until postseason play. All you do is rip the most successful team we've had in this town since the 87-91 Twins with 2 straight Western Finals. No, the Minnesota Vikings have gone to NFC Championship games in 2017 and 2009, so that's that's the equivalent of the Western Conference Finals, is it not, to get to the NFC Championship game? So you're wrong there. They're not the most successful team. Plus, they got blown out in those 2 series, 4-1. It's a tired bit. Retire it, please. It's not a bit. I just don't watch the games. You don't need to watch games to understand what a team is doing. Read the quotes.
Well,
the biggest problem with the team is they won't play 48 minutes of defense. That is it. Number one, no other questions need to be asked. And they say it themselves. I just read the quotes. Ant says, yeah, I just got to figure. It's really hard for me. I got to figure out a way to do it. Just do it, but he won't. Bones Highland says, he just said, when we all play together like that and play hard start to finish, we're a really good team. We're really hard to beat. They don't want to do that. You don't need to watch every game to see that. Why would I watch the game to see that when they're not? If they're not going to try, I'm not going to try.
Well, if you're not a fan of the game, and that's fine. I mean, I understand that. I like the nuances.
I'm a fan of the game.
No, you're not.
I went. Do you know how many I went to more high school basketball games in the past 12 years than you've gone to NBA games in your life. I went to Deuce Baby Brother Peter was playing.
I'm not talking about high school.
Well, it's still basketball.
I know that, but so is
I'm a fan of the game. Yeah. But you said I wasn't a fan of the game.
I was talking about the NBA game. Okay. I wasn't talking about youth basketball. Of course, I've covered a zillion high school basketball games. I'm just saying that there are nuances in the game that you can't necessarily, as they say with baseball. You can look at a box score the next time, and if you don't know if the guy missed the cutoff man, he doesn't get charged with an error in the box score, but he overthrew the guy and caused the runner to go from first to third. If you're not watching it, I'm not saying you got to watch 162. There are little things that happen in a game like last night that, like Jaden McDaniel was doing, that you're not going to see in a box score. Well, I mean, his hustle playing and what he did to put himself in position on the defensive stops and a few other things when they came back. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to watch it. I could care less if you watch it. And it's not going to change your opinion about it, but I'm just saying there is value, and you don't have to watch it. I understand that. I'm not suggesting it. I watched the show the other night. I didn't watch one game. I'm flipping around. Last night happened to be one of those rare nights when, Minnesota teams actually had success in the Big Ten basketball game against Michigan State. Big upset there. The Wild coming back in a highly entertaining game against Nashville, and the Wolves coming back inexplicably 17 down, whatever it was, to win the game. And I'm glad I stuck around and watched it. That's what I was doing last night. Tonight there's nothing on, so I'll probably read my book.
I was doing the crossword puzzle last night.
That's great. I'm not suggesting you shouldn't. Yeah. You got to have a well-balanced life. That's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
It's important. Especially the older you get. Take my word for it. Sports. You don't want to have your own.
Well, I've been saying that since
forever.
1993.
I know you have.
Your Wild Club. Did you watch any of that?
I just said I was flipping around.
Oh,
and
you
it
did?
was
Okay.
highly entertaining. Yeah, it was back and forth. Another overtime game. Tana talked about it.
So you were going between 3 different games, the Gopher basketball?
I saw the end of the Gopher.
okay.
Honestly, I saw the
Everything but Lakeville South Hockey, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know about Lakeville South Hockey.
Well, if you would have been listening to 534 yesterday, he was part of Programming Predicament.
Well, I did not hear that.
Yeah.
It's like you don't listen to the station, so I don't.
Well, yeah, you always say, when driving around the car, I heard PA
I
today.
did know. Well, sometimes I don't hear the station.
He never listens to me.
That's not true.
Sounds like he doesn't support any Coles.
It doesn't sound like he does.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Except for Helen.
Yes.
Anyway, we're just talking about, Gopher. Yeah, I knew they were playing Michigan State, and I saw they were up big, and then I put it on and saw that flagrant, dirty foul by Michigan State. I don't know the guy's name. Kicked the Gopher right between the legs, as they say. I mean, he's had some issues, and he's got some anger issues, that guy. And I'm glad the Gophers won that game. And granted, 7-game losing streak. You read some of the stats from that game last night. That were just mind-boggling. They were able to win that game, but with skeleton crew that they have on that basketball team.
This text messenger says, "What does Rosie have against high school basketball?"
Nothing.
Okay, just sounded like it.
I've watched more high school basketball. I covered so much, and I still love it.
Yeah,
watch a tournament. Of course, I have nothing against it. I think it's great. All high school sports. Look at me. Don't put me in a box.
We'll take a break.
Good.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the big game. Big game 60. Sunday in the Valley of the Sun. We'll do that next. Common Man program on the Fan.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryan text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
So, for instance, this is how I spent my evening. I can just tell by the timeline on my phone, because it's actually a handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device. So while you were clicking around on games, I was reading about Mickey Lolich,
right?
The Detroit Tigers pitcher that died at the age of 85. Then I looked at the time lapse of sunset on Mars. Have you ever seen a video of that? And here's what's really cool.
That's an interesting twist.
And here, what's really cool is you watch it 6.5 minutes, and it's a time lapse. But it has a blue tint. You know how when we see a sunrise, we see it's more yellow and gold and red. It's blue up there because of the silt that's coming off of the planet. So the sunset looks blue. It's really cool looking. I then looked at Waste Management Open. I wanted to see what the pairings were in the Waste Management Open. So
Phoenix, always the Super Bowl weekend.
Then I looked up basketball player skill cliches because that was show prep. Once I figured we'd trade for somebody, then I wanted to do back to the basket. He's got length in this, and so I wanted to look up some of those. So that was a show prep.
Prepping for that, yeah.
Then I looked up the Johnny Quest American Animated Series, TV show series. I looked up Johnny Quest because Deuce and I were throwing Johnny Quest lines back and forth last night for some of our favorite episodes from the cartoon. So then I started looking up all the people that did the voices for this to see what their careers were like, where they were born, where they've been, where they're going. They've all passed away for the most part. Then I looked up how do brooms affect the Stones' path in Olympic curling, because I wanted to become more
aware of all that.
Then I looked up Isadora Duncan. Are you familiar with Isadora Duncan? She was a American dancer and choreographer. She died in one of the most horrific car accidents.
I have heard the name.
Do you know how she died?
I do not.
This would have been sometime in the 20s, and she was in a convertible. And she was in the passenger side, and she was wearing this long, flowing scarf. And as she was driving away, somebody said, "Hey," tried to tell her about the scarf.
Right.
The scarf got caught in the spokes of the rear wheel, and it pulled her out of the car, broke her neck, and she died instantly. I don't think anybody else has ever passed away that way. Have they? I mean, do you think there's... I know somebody that same thing happened to.
You just happened to run across it? You weren't purposely looking up Isadora Duncan.
I was looking up what happened was I was having another conversation with somebody else, and I was thinking about it was a what the heck is her name? Carol Lombard.
Oh, the famous actress.
So
yeah.
I was thinking of Carol. I was thinking of Carol Lombard, and then Carol Lombard had died in a plane crash.
Right.
And then I remembered my mother had told me about a dancer who got her scarf caught in the wheel, and I hopped it and found out it was Isadora Duncan. It says she died when her scarf became entangled in the wheel and the axle of the car in which she was traveling. It's a heck of a way to go.
Horrific.
Yeah, and so then I just read her entire bio. Then I listened to the song "Spend My Life with a Girl Like You." That song is part of the commercial. Have you seen the commercial, Farmer's Dog Food commercial?
Yes.
And that song, and I never heard. Now that's a song from 1966 by a band called the Troglodytes, who later changed their name. They shortened it to just the Trogs. Their manager said you should just change it to the Trogs. And I had met Reg Presley, lead singer for the Trogs. And he wrote the song. I'd never heard this. I didn't know. I thought it was a newer song, and it's really good. And then what else did I do last night? I think that about covers.
Well, that's the beauty of having that device as your computer.
To me, that was much more interesting than watch up the court, down the court.
I understand.
Up the court, down the court. Up the court, down. Why don't you guys play defense? Well, I just can't get myself.
No, and I echo what you're doing, because I can't tell you how many times I'm watching an old movie in particular, and I watch a lot of Turner Classic movies, and I'm constantly eye-hopping, as you like to call it, actor or actress in the movie and going, I wonder what kind of life they had after this. And then, unfortunately, more times than not, it ended up being a pretty sad number of chapters in their life. There aren't a lot of happy endings for a lot of those early movie stars, for whatever reasons, mismanaged by the company they worked for that really took advantage of a lot of women in particular, not just, with bad contracts, not just, physically something, but I mean, just. And it's always an intriguing story about, and I do that all the time. And that's what gives us instant computers. I mean, we used to look up stuff in the encyclopedia, and now we just look on our telephones.
Yeah.
Endless amounts of information that you have. You're right. But I got to get off my phone at night, too. It's too much sometimes.
Right. Well, but for me, see, I'm not doom scrolling.
No,
I'm not on Twitter looking at all the different, people commenting. Yeah, see, and I've never done that in my life ever, and I never will, and I don't follow anybody. I use it as my encyclopedia. That's what that's what I do. I look up things and to read news stories from all the different news outlets that I trust in sports and all that. I don't use it for doom scrolling.
No, that's the worst thing you can do right now. Yeah, it's a lot of.
And then why do people do it? Why do you do it? Just give it up. Just stop. Just don't do it anymore.
It's a bad habit for people.
I just won't get myself into that.
No, you can't.
Sunday, big game. Oh, by the way, something we talked about earlier in the program, Associated Sports Illustrated, SI.com put together a list of they ranked the 59 losing Super Bowl teams.
I heard you talking about it briefly.
The Vikings, the 69 team, was ranked the fourth best of the losing teams. Think about this.
The 69?
The 69, the team that lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, with Joe Cap.
They were 12-2. Mm-hmm. I think they had the highest ranked offense and the best defense and the best offense, and they still lost 23-7 to the Chiefs. So they were ranked as the fourth best losing. The best was the undefeated New England team that went 16-0 before, or 18-0 before they lost to the Giants.
Yeah, anyone I've had plenty of conversations over the years with members of that 69 team, including the late Joe Cap. And honestly, to a man, they said, that they hadn't, again, that's when they still had the old NFL versus the AFL, and Kansas City, that was the last time. And they were amazed how good Kansas City was. I'm not saying they took them lightly. Kansas City was a demonstratively better football team than the Vikings when they got to that Super Bowl, the big game. Their defense was phenomenal. Hank Stram, of course, was crowing on the sidelines, and Len Dawson and Otis Taylor breaking that tackle from Ursel McBee, and they buried poor Joe Cap under an avalanche of red. He said they were like looking up. I think his quote was, "I was like looking up at a bunch of redwoods all afternoon." That was a striking opening for the Vikings in their first Super Bowl. That wasn't their. I still don't think that was their best team that went to I think the one that you mentioned.
One lost to the Dolphins?
No, the Pittsburgh one. That's the only one they actually had a chance.
Yeah, but they're just saying the best overall team, top to bottom. I think the 69 team. Well, just the numbers themselves. They were the top-ranked defensive team and the top-ranked offensive team in the National Football League. Not many teams are able to accomplish that, according to the story.
Yeah,
I thought that was their best team.
Cap was, did what he had to do.
He was second in MVP voting that year.
He was.
He was brilliant.
I remember.
He was 40 for 60 and 70.
He threw a lot of wounded ducks.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't a classic, but they had the defense. And then, of course, the following year, they opened up against Kansas City here at Met Stadium, and they beat them soundly.
Well, we got our revenge.
Yeah, Matt, it happened all the time.
Yeah, we got revenge.
The best team they played, I think, in the Super Bowl was Miami. That team was the best. Pittsburgh was the only one they had a chance of actually leading. And Tarkenton, and I've said this 1,000 times, Tarkenton probably shouldn't have played that day. He had a bad arm, couldn't throw the ball across the street, and yet, Bud decided to go with Fran because he got him there instead of going with backup? Bob Berry.
Should have played Bob Berry.
He should have. He should have, because Fran could not throw the ball from here across the street. But, that's what you do. And they had a chance. In the Oakland game, that's the one where the late Fred McNeil, the only one to ever block Ray Guy's punt, and he blocked it on the 5-yard line. The Vikings, unfortunately, didn't fall on the ball in the end zone, fell on it in the 2-yard line, and they... Instead of giving the ball to Chuck Foreman, they gave it to Brent McClanahan, who fumbled, and the rest is history. Got blown out of that one.
Destroyed.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Remember them all.
65 toss power trap.
Correct.
Two teams that are ranked in the top 10 defensively, during the regular season, New England and Seattle. Both offenses are very good. You have two good quarterback stories. We all know the tale of Sam Darnold. May was the third pick, was it second or third pick overall?
I think third was he.
In the National Football League draft, same year number 9 came out. Had a good year. Deuce brought it up in spread swing. I've seen a handful of stories this week. There's a lot to write about. Right, we have 2 weeks between the league championship games and the big game, and there have been a number of stories about New England's path to the big game. Their schedule really wasn't as difficult as some of the others. And as Deuce said, you can't really hold that against the club. You play them as they're scheduled. You don't put their rosters or their lineups or their game plans together. And, I don't know how much coaching makes a difference, but Vrabel is pretty crafty. And as Deuce said, having played in big games and having seen it all and this, that, and that. You know me, I never say it's going to be a great game because we don't know that till they play. It has the makings of a really good game. Two teams that I think they both went 13-4. They both won, their postseason games. So it should be. It has all the makings for it. I'm kind of anxious to see. How it goes.
It's a nice change of pace. I don't know if it's for the casual fan, it's just a rhetorical question. I don't know if Seattle and New England has the same sort of draw, like Philadelphia. If it was Jalen Hurts against Patrick Mahomes, two so-called glamour teams, or this doesn't have that aura. Seattle hasn't been in the Super Bowl for quite a while, and the Darnold story speaks for itself and what he has an opportunity to do here with not just his time here in Minnesota, but before that. And I hope a lot of people would like to see the best for Sam Darnold. Everything about him is pure class, and the way he's handled all the questions about, are you bitter about this team or that? No, I mean, it's part of the arc of a quarterback and of a career, and he has an opportunity now. The Seahawks. I mean, you can read as much as you possibly want to read about the big game. It happens every single year. They are saying that the Seahawks are the best defense in the league when it comes to limiting explosive plays. But the Patriots are the best offense in the league in creating those explosive plays. So as they say, something's got to give. And though you don't think of New England right now because I mentioned the Brady years and the receivers he had, and Drake May being a young quarterback, and not they got Diggs, they got weapons. But I just think there's so much parity in the league. I don't necessarily see Seattle They gave up a lot of explosive plays against Matthew. Stafford had a chance to win that game. The Rams were very good against them. And so that's why I give the Pats, more than a fighting chance in this game. And for them to come back, from having just an abysmal season because they have got the right mix, the right quarterback, the right head coach. A lot of things that, are falling into place for them. It's so unpredictable. We've been through this before. And that's why.
Well, it'll be, again, you're right. But, 15, 17-year veteran Matt Stafford and second-year pro Drake May.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. It's a big difference. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't because their offense is good, but I don't know if New England will have as much success moving the football as the Rams did. But
I doubt if they will. That's why I think a lot of people are predicting, as we just talked about in spread swing, a lower-scoring game. I don't think we're going to see a game, both teams certainly hitting the 30s in this game. I don't expect to. And then, every time we say that, then something else happens. And as I mentioned, with Seattle's special teams are so good that, you can have an opening kickoff. You can have a Devin Hester type of moment. And, with the new kickoff rules, you have those opportunities to return them. You're not going to kick it necessarily out of the end zone. So, it's like a national holiday. Every single year we go through this, and it's a moment. The difference this year is, we got the Olympics going on. We got Lindsey Vonn, I think, is scheduled Sunday to ski, right? I saw this workout regimen. I saw a video of her. I don't know if you saw that, Common. She's doing like these leg presses.
Watching basketball.
No, just a video of. Last night you could watch.
I was watching hoops.
She, I don't know how she's doing this, but she looked. Again, she's not on the ski slope. She's not on the downhill slope. She's just doing dry land training, but just the strength training. It would be quite the story.
God bless her. Wish the best, but I don't know how you get through that.
But what I'm saying is that with the game on Sunday, and you get the opening ceremonies Friday night, and you're going to have a lot of attention drawn right away to the events that are going on, which is great. We got 2 weeks of it ahead of us.
I'll be focused on the big game.
Well, I think everyone will be.
Yeah, the Olympics is.
But I'm saying I don't know what time Lindsay's skiing, even if it's live. If they're showing it live and the time differences and.
If Sam Darnold is driving the team down late in the fourth quarter for the winning score, will you click over to Lindsey Vonn making her a run?
No, I would record it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would watch the game. Yeah. I'll be at a Super Bowl party. So.
All right. Oh, you're going to a Super Bowl party?
Yeah. I never.
Thanks for the invite.
Well, it's not my party.
It's not?
No, I'm invited. And there's specific rules for this house party. That's all I'm going to say. I do not like, for years and years and years.
You got to wear a costume or what?
No, I'm just.
Talking during the game?
Here's the thing. There's 3 floors. The people who are casuals, they sit in the kitchen and our guest of honor makes chili for everybody. The people who just don't kind of pay attention to the game, they're on the main floor. They're kind of keeping an eye on the game, watching the commercials, watching the halftime, whatever. The serious people, we have assigned seats on the 3rd floor. So Karen and I have our seats assigned because basically you go up there, there's no talking. You're watching the game. You can talk about what just happened in the game. Well, I'm going to say no talking, no chit chat about the weather or whatever you want to talk about. You're there to watch the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't go.
Why even go to a party then?
No, because
why not just do it at home?
Who's hosting this? Beautiful people.
Name dropping
not
time.
Not really. Nice.
All beautiful people.
No, not at all. But I never used to go. First of all, I worked all the time, so
I'd like to get invited to something.
No,
like
you
that.
would not. It's the last place on earth you would want to do.
Well, I'd like to be invited. It'd be nice to be able to turn down an invitation.
And if you turn down, here's the house rules are: if you can't go 2 years in a row, you have to sit out a year. So
it's not popular.
We were gone last year.
Rules to it.
Yeah, we were gone last year, so we couldn't go.
Are you watching this in Russia, or what's going on here?
Oh, it's just that they're just kind of fun little house rules. So yeah, I will be watching, but I'll be watching the game. I don't like being. It's just my old years of conditioning. I don't like being at a party someplace where people.
That's why I just watch it at my house.
Well, I've done that for.
Well, why don't
at work?
You could have just said,
because of the arrangement. I'm saying if you're up on the 3rd floor, you have
There's
a serious.
Still people going to be talking.
No, I've been there before. You watch the game. Now he's got a bigger screen up there. Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. I'm not that. It's. I'll see what I need to see. I'll be watching the game. It used to be then, we'd monitor all the commercials, and then we'd grade them and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, could you talk during the commercials then?
Well, you don't really want to because you're
It's
trying
actually the
to
time you don't
absorb.
want to talk.
No, you want to absorb.
Oh, so after the commercial, then you grade them.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
So you would say like A, B.
Yeah, like whatever. There used to be the Budweiser, the Talking Frogs.
I really thought, I'm going to throw a wet blanket. I remember there was a time where years ago, I thought the commercials were really good. The last 10 years,
I don't
wrong?
disagree. No,
am I
you're not.
going to be? What do you think?
They've run out of material.
I just think they've run out of material. I think some of them are just not that.
You expect them to be.
I think maybe it's the expectations are so
agree.
high because I remember back in the day, whenever the day was 10, 12 years ago, you would go, you remember that one? And then how about that one and that one? And now it's like, I watch them and it's like, they'll always have a tearjerker one.
Correct.
Then 4 of the companies will have to have a dog in it because they want everybody. If you have a dog, it's going to be a good commercial. And
half of them, you don't even know what they're sponsoring.
And that's the other thing. And then it's like, and then some of them, the humor is, it's almost flop, sweat, and tears like. It's not even that funny. And so then you just kind of go away.
They realize how much money they're spending on them.
Yeah,
Speaking of dogs, Puppy Bowl Sunday. That's where you.
Oh, yeah.
They always have new material.
Yeah.
I want to get a Puppy Bowl party. Do you want to come over for my Puppy Bowl party?
Can I talk during it?
Sure.
Woof, woof.
Or do you want to have rules for this?
Well, yeah, you can't talk during it.
No.
You can fetch during it, but you can't talk.
Puppy Bowl is genius.
How many people will be at this party? It's a 3-story party, too. Wow.
Is there more than 3 stories?
No.
Is this in Cold Spring? There's
not in Cold Spring. No, there's
within 20 miles of.
No, it's not in Cold Spring. It's here in town.
Does it cost money for admission?
No. It's invite. No. It's not it's not that big a deal. It's just a party. But the designated part of it is because there are people who are seriously want to watch the game. And there are others who are just there for the social occasion. And that's fine, too. I just wouldn't want to be a part of that. I want to watch the football game. If I want to socialize with people and do it later or before the game. When the game starts, I want to watch the game.
Locked in.
Yeah,
Here's what I would do. If it was me. Go to the party, have the food until 10 minutes to 5, and then leave and go home and then go watch.
They wouldn't even know I'm gone. Except there are assigned seats, so they would know.
That's why I don't go to Super Bowl party, because I do like to watch, and it's hard to get. I guess with the rules.
Yeah, that's
now. Has anybody ever been evicted? Has anybody talked to him and got carried away? And they just say you have to go down to the floor number 1.
Not that I'm aware of.
You got to go to main floor.
Right.
Who picks the assigned seating?
The owner of the house, based on your
tenure.
Yeah, your tenure and your designs and what you want to do.
Does owner of the house, is he in the serious area or not?
Yes, but he's also kind of
in the serious area. Then is he like Leopold, where there's nobody sitting to his right and his left? Because it's that.
No, it's not that bad. He's
what upstairs. Kind of is it a mild chili?
It's a combination. He's got 3 different kinds.
Oh,
yeah.
More expensive, but well worth it. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
We will. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the game.
Absolutely, I will. Tenneby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
We're back tomorrow. Did you find us a 4th yet for Program Password?
Yes, Alexis Pearson.
Yeah, so we've got Program Password tomorrow. We'll be at 1, Program Password at 1:30. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 12 noon, Big Ticket, and Brett Blakemore next here on The Fan.
Wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.